Hello, so today I want to share with you my first ever romantic experience. We are not together yet, not yet, we're still in the talking stage, but it is my first ever romance. I don't know if I should call it that, because I barely chatted with any guy before. I did have some male friends before, but we are mostly just chatting some school related stuff. And it is the first guy that we actually have some romantic things in. But this video is not like a documentary of my romantic experience, but more like the takeaways and things that I've learned in this experience, because he got me thinking a lot in a month of chatting. We're still chatting right now, by the way. So let's call him Chris. Me and Chris are classmates. We are in the same group for a group project. And then he's the leader for our group. Our group is pretty small. It's like 8 people. So we knew each other at the start of semester. However, we didn't really chat at all. It is only us chatting school stuff until a month me and him started to chat. And we exchanged our Discord because I don't use Instagram, and then he asked whether I have other contacts. So we chatted on Discord for a month consistently every day. That's kind of wild. So I realized that I got a bit too attached on him. And that's weird because I barely know him. I've only started to chat with him for a month, right? I shouldn't be that attached to him. I would get too anxious to a point where I would check Discord several times a day, and then when I see he hasn't replied yet, I would be thinking on my mind, oh my god, is he chatting with another girl? Are they prettier than me? Are they more interesting than me? What is he doing right now? Did he lose interest in me? I would get too anxious, and then I kept overthinking in my mind. I started to think about him a lot. I started to go for ChatGPT for some consultation, and then I looked for YouTube videos on, oh my god, how to get men to like you, how to get men to be more interested in you. I've been doing some shit like that. And that's very weird, because I know deep down that I don't even like him that much. I don't even know if I want to be in a relationship with him at this point. But I'm just weirdly attached to him. So I'll explain why later. I'll continue talking about our story briefly. So on the day of Christmas, we've been texting on Discord as usual, and then we plan to play a game together, because we've been playing a game together with his friends, and then we are gaming at night and chit-chatting. But at that day, his friends are not free, so it is only me and him. So he suggested that we could just chat a little. Chat a little. I was like, oh my god, bro wants to chat a little with me. Bro likes me, right? Bro likes me. And then I said yes. Maybe we could just chat a little. And then I thought it means something, right? On the Christmas night, we had a very good time together. We chatted pretty well. I really enjoyed the time with him. I think he as well. So the next day, I decided that I should invite him out. So I did. And then I gave him 3 days to choose between, and then I got declined. He said he got plans for those days. And then I thought we are over, right? Because that is most likely an excuse. There's no way that he's not free for 3 days. I gave you 3 days to choose. And then he also didn't propose another day. So I thought that we're over, right? And then I was in grief. I was thinking a lot. I was thinking like, oh my god, am I too desperate? Am I overthinking all the things that we've done? And he said, I was like, bro's sending me heart emojis and bro's reacting hearts to my messages. We've been basically exchanging heart emojis at the time. And then we've been enjoying our time together when we're gaming. And he remembered my birthday. He sent me a birthday song. I was like, am I imagining all of that stuff? And then I kept thinking, what went wrong? Why does it not work out? So for several days, I've been thinking about his past actions and analyzing what do they mean, and whether I'm misinterpreting them into, like, maybe he doesn't mean that, but maybe I interpreted them in this way, and that's not true. Until a day when I was reading a book. Let me show you. I was reading this book called The Subtle Arts of Not Giving a Fuck, and then I came to a realization that I've been using him as escapism. Basically, I fell in love with solving an unsolvable puzzle instead of dealing my own problems. And it turned into an addiction to think about him all the time. I realized that the more time I spent thinking on him, the more emotionally invested I am. And then I tricked myself into believing that, oh my god, I kept thinking about him, I must like him so much. But deep down, I know that I don't like him that much. Back then when we first started to chat, it was in exam season, so I was basically using him to avoid stress because he is very addictive. The conversation with him is very addictive. But then after exam season, it is semester break. And then I realized that I'm using him to avoid boredom. More specifically, why do I have this boredom? Is because I'm avoiding something very deep inside me that remains unsolved, and I've kept avoiding, which is my own life goals and purpose. Which means that I created a new problem for myself to avoid dealing with the root cause of the problem. I noticed that in the 3 months of university, I've been having different goals and I worked towards them. I had 2 goals in uni. The first one is to pass all of my exams, and the second one is to lose weight. I accomplished all of them. I lost some weight. I've been exercising regularly, and I started to see my abs for the first time, which I'm very proud of. However, although I achieved all of the goals that I set for myself, I still feel like something's missing. And until after meeting him and getting declined for the invitation, I realized that it is because I'm missing my life purpose. That I actually have a life purpose, but I'm too scared of failure. I'm too scared of failing at it, so I never try. I never actually put in the work for it. I'm too scared of failing. Which means all of the goals that I've set in the 3 months of uni is to avoid dealing with the root cause of my problem. And why am I so scared of being a failure, at failing my goals? It's because I used to fail at something that I've put so much hard work in, and then failed, which is my entrance exam. I used to spend hours, I spent so much time studying for the exam, and yet not reaching the goal that I hope to reach. I kept avoid dealing with this root problem. I didn't accept the fact. I kept denying it and avoiding it. I set different goals, but they are all for escapism. So in the period of me and Chris not contacting each other, because it got kinda awkward after me getting declined, I realized that if you don't deal with your root cause of your problems, it will only generate more problems for you. Because the problem that I am being so attached with Chris, and I kept thinking about him 24/7, is because I'm bored. And then it's because I'm avoiding to do the things that I should do because I'm scared of failure. So I dealt with my failure in my entrance exam. I accepted it, kinda. Not fully yet, actually. I think that may take more time. That may take longer time. And now I'm recording videos now. I've been avoiding doing it because, first of all, I think I can't speak very well, and it is a thing that I really want to improve, but it is a very uncomfortable thing to do. And second, I'm afraid that if I put in so much work onto my YouTube channel and then still not achieving anything, I can't take that failure anymore, because I used to fail once, and then that almost broke me. So my experience with Chris, my first romantic experience, actually let me come to a realization of why that, although I have my goals in uni and then I've been working towards them, and I achieved them, but I still felt kinda directionless and ambitionless in those months. Because I've been avoiding the real problem. I've been avoiding the root cause of the problem, which is my life purpose. Right now, my life purpose is to achieve something big in YouTube, is to improve my communication skills. But I was scared of failure, so I dealt with my problem that caused me to be so scared of failure. Now, I have a clearer vision, and then I'm actually starting to see directions in my life, which I haven't had since I failed. I considered myself a failure in the entrance exam. In the weeks of us not contacting, I was first in a very not really deep, some sort of grief, and then I came to a calm state. Then I became okay without him. So we started recontacting lately, but still I'm not as attached, because I have my own things to do. I have my life purposes. I've found my life goals again that I've been avoiding a lot. Before that, when I cared about him a lot, I realized that the more I care about him, the less he started to initiate, and the worse our conversations go. But ironically, when after I found my life purpose again, when I started to kinda care about him less, because relationship has always been something that I'm not prioritizing right now. It's not my focus for now because I'm still very young, And then when I started to care about him less, he started to initiate more and cared about me more. And the overall vibe is just better. I think to not lose yourself in a relationship, you need to get a life. You need to have your life purposes. Because when you have your own things to do, when you have your goals, that's the time when you're the most attractive. Because you have an interesting life to be explored. Imagine if you only revolve him 24/7. There's nothing interesting in you, so why would he want to explore you, right? And also don't depend your entire happiness on him. That's a mistake that I've made because in semester break, I basically got nothing to do. And I also avoided recording videos because I'm too scared of failure. So I relied on him as my almost only source of happiness. And then that fucking broke me. And that caused so much of my pain and grief when we stopped contacting and we stopped gaming. It is very risky to depend your entire happiness on a person. It doesn't necessarily have to be a boy or a partner, but just anyone, one person. You shouldn't be depending your entire happiness on one single person. You can find that in different people or from you yourself by having goals and working towards them. So, yeah, this is my biggest takeaway in the month of chatting with him. And after temporarily losing him, we started to chat again, but I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I actually didn't expect anything. Like, I'm okay with being friends for now. So my biggest takeaway is that you need to deal with your own problems. You need to deal with your root cause of problem. If you have any addictions right now, like you think you're deeply in love with somebody, you want to get them so much, or maybe you're addicted to video games or porns or whatever, that may be an avoidance of your root cause of problem. And what you should do is to face them. You need to deal with them, or else that one problem will only generate more problems for you, and it will fucking drive you crazy. I actually got so much more ideas to share, but I guess that's it for today's video. I will definitely make more videos in the future and to share my takeaways and things that I think is pretty profound, because in this month I've really been thinking a lot, and then I realized many things. I started to understand many things that I think is worth sharing to you. So yeah, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.